Told the plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 pigs.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent or go to your Facebook page and look us up. Hit see first so you can get all the other great shows, and follow Cannabis Corner New Haven on Facebook.
Yes, sir. How's it going today, good brother Joe?
Good, Uncle Lou. How you doing? How was your weekend?
I had a good weekend. It was very nice. It was relaxing and enjoyable.
Yeah.
I had a nice lunch on the farm on Saturday with some music going.
Cool.
You know, can't go wrong.
No, not at all,
yeah,
man.
really enjoying it, brother.
Farmer's life has got to be a good life.
Yeah, you know, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It was nice to have a week off last week. Don't necessarily agree with the reason, but, you know, hey, whatever. I don't know. Have we changed that yet in Connecticut, or is it still...
Connecticut had an Indigenous
It was Indigenous People Day?
in New
Okay.
Haven on the green here. So here in New Haven on the green. I don't know if it's official, but New Haven celebrated it,
that's it.
which was pretty nice because there was a Taino celebration as well. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, so New Haven Green had a nice variety of Indigenous people pride going on in the city. So we always give that big shout out for there. Go New Haven, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those.
No, I like that. It's better than celebrating Columbus Day, the murder, whatever.
Hey.
Anyway, I don't want to get into
We're not getting into that political. Come on, man. That's for the next hour.
Right.
That's Harry the Brave
Harry
does
the
all
Brave.
that.
Harry, what do you think of Columbus Day? Do you really care? Do you think we should change it all over completely federally to Indigenous people?
No, not really.
No?
Not really. You have and we have to remember a lot of people give Spain a pass for
But
everything.
they're the ones who did it. You're
Right.
right. You're right.
They're the ones who did it. Columbus was just a tool,
And that's a good word.
You know,
yes,
so-
that's a good word for him.
and without Columbus, let's face it,
But, well, I don't want to get into it. Is that even the truth? Did he really discover America, or did he discover the Caribbean?
well, it's not that he does. Well, the Caribbean, which is kind of part of our part of our
Part
continent.
we took.
But
Anyway.
but at the same time, we're constantly trying to rewrite history as if Columbus was here right now trying to assassinate somebody.
Well,
He-
yeah, this
He
is true.
he was a explorer, right? And then you had a whole bunch of conquistadors who were out there trying to conquer everything.
Oh, I
right?
know.
It was a different time, and everybody is judging, past years as if everybody was woke like today.
Right. Well, maybe it's time we just got rid of the whole holiday altogether.
We could get rid of it.
Yeah, that.
Or
I
we
mean,
could not get rid of it. It
yeah.
doesn't really matter to me. He's not
he's dead.
affecting my life right
Right.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on the same page, realistically.
I
I
am
think
too,
we
yeah.
enjoy life and everybody decides what they want to do. I'm more focused on hemp and cannabis.
I'd rather have a day off for Hemp Day.
Hey,
Now
there
that's,
you go.
that's
there we
what
go.
we need. National
Yeah, we gotta
Hemp
get that
Day.
420 day in there.
We should
gotta get a
we should
third-
convert Columbus Day to Hemp Day.
Hey.
That is a good idea.
You're starting to
Or
get my
let's
wheels
just
turning.
convert every Wednesday to Hump Day.
Hemp Day instead of Hump Day. Weed Wednesday. No.
Hemp Day. I love it.
So, yeah, but anyway, it's just nice to have a day off. Let's put it that way. It's always good to just get a nice day off and let other people, enjoy the day.
I agree with you there, brother. It's always a nice one.
But yeah, things are popping, I guess, in the hemp industry in Connecticut. We're going to have Jeff Wenzel on in a little while
He is, yep.
from the
yep,
Connecticut Hemp Industry Association.
Yep.
And I
We
just
spoke with
realized,
Jeff a bunch of times.
you know what that stands for? Chia.
Chia.
Like the chia.
That's exactly what it says. I'm also on the board of directors there, so it's cool. It's I get to talk with Jeff here and there, and really get to learn a lot of things about what's going on in the industry, and trying to bring the community into that portion of it. So,
Well, I think
he's
you
really
need an
opened his arms.
association.
Oh yeah, he's really opened his arms to everything, and I'm have to say, hey, we're
Yeah.
doing it. Ricky D's on the board of
That's what I
directors
heard.
now there, so that he's really been able to open that up, and that chia, he represents it very nice, and then he also has his own business on the side, which is not necessarily related because the Connecticut Hemp Industry Association is a nonprofit.
Right.
Nonprofit organization. So there's a pretty nice sized group that's formed, and we get our calls in every Wednesday, and
Nice.
it's becoming one of those awesome things for the farmers here. And it's not just the farmers, because it's for all of Connecticut hemp industry.
Just CBD and everything.
So all CBD fibers, if construction people who are retail shops, you name it.
Right.
If you're in the business, you sell it, look at it, touch it. Accountants who might be working into the hemp world, lawyers or any of those as well, those would also look to join the Connecticut Hemp Industry Association.
Well, good. We'll talk to Jeff about that. We'll see about membership. Are they taking members yet?
Hopefully that's what he's talking about and everything. So it's really nice. We're really pushing that. And it's a really big project that the team, you should 100% be a member. And I would love, Jeff makes that work.
Yes. So anyway.
He's usually listening in early too, which is nice. So he'll say what's up.
So anyway, so around Connecticut, I guess our illustrious mayor, Governor Ned Lamont, went and took a little visit to New York City last week
with a couple other people.
Yeah, and had a little powwow with the governors from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
You're correct, and it keep going.
Massachusetts,
and
Rhode Island. So I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in
just
that meeting.
a fly, because I would have been I would have enjoyed just being the guy that was serving the food. I would have snuck in a couple CBD oils for some people, but
I would have.
They
snuck
set
in
up
THC.
the podium.
You see that?
Oh my goodness, Joe! Joe, it was every flag from everybody.
There was a big deal.
It was a prominence.
Yes,
one might say.
It was.
I was ready for it to start paying tribute. Ooh. I did. This was starting to look like the Hunger Games of cannabis.
Right.
I don't know what was going on in there. I was like, we're ready to call the Capitol.
I know, right? I don't think this is the first time I've ever seen that go down.
Like regionalized, Joe. That was regional.
That was the entire. That was tri-state and they didn't get all New England.
No, they left alone the top part of New England.
They did.
They left Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire
out. You're out.
They were like, no, mooses are up there.
No,
they really like weed up there.
They didn't really bother with
No,
them.
they were like, no, they really don't care what we're doing in New York.
Where the money.
They were like, they were like, we don't care. They were like, Maine is not coming down to New York City to see it.
No.
I felt so horrible for that. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, they did leave them out.
They left the top parts out. I was like, whoa.
That would have been worse because a couple of those guys up
there. Those
there.
guys would have came down and been like, listen, guys. We love cannabis in our state.
We got plenty of land.
We got lots of it.
A lot of land to grow it.
Because Rhode Island is really harping down on it, just like some of the other states. And Rhode Island's a small state. You can drive from end to end in less than 2 hours, and that's one of the spots that it's a big thing.
Yeah, because of its proximity to both Connecticut and Massachusetts, it's kind of got that little port thing going with the little islands out there and everything. So. And what I didn't really hear much of what came out of it, other than that they all agree to come up with a regional approach.
Right, that was all that came out of it. It was, we'll all work together to try to. What's going to happen is realistically they're going to probably lobby. This is what I'm thinking, because federal legalization is going to happen before that'll.
Yeah,
before this whole regional figuring out thing might happen.
Right.
Because now we're going to have to appoint committees.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about what it takes to make a bill.
Right.
We've
had enough trouble in Connecticut getting one down.
Right. So now you're going to have to get one on each state level.
That's going to coincide with each other.
Right.
So, they have an old saying, what is it? Too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the stew? Well, there you go, man.
You're talking some big stuff. And now it's just, what is it going to be? Another conference that our governors go to, realistically, to talk about what's happening in their state to kind of have to veer their part, but then that doesn't represent the people necessarily.
Doesn't represent. Every state is different. People don't really. You can't run Connecticut like you run New York. There's no giant city.
We've had that conversation 1,000 times.
There's no New York. There's no Manhattan. There's no Queens. There's no Brooklyn. There's no giant city in Connecticut.
Like we're here. This is our urban hood ultimately.
New Haven, Bridgeport. Yeah, that's it.
These are our are more densely populated communities, but these aren't huge.
They're nothing compared to Manhattan.
I believe, size-wise maybe, but our density is nowhere near as Manhattan. And then we love that New Haven is a quaint small city. Like
Right.
this is one of those awesome cities
Right.
to enjoy. We don't have the same issues like a Manhattan where you have uptown, downtown,
Right.
all over up, and which is super densely populated, and there's more people on the island of Manhattan than there is in the state of Connecticut.
Right.
So it's a big difference.
Big difference.
So
the
we
way you
enjoy
run it.
our small towns, and we're happy with that, and we can govern
that
this
way. Right. We don't have to do it. It's like, and the vaping thing too. They want to get a regionalized approach to vaping. Well, they can't agree because Massachusetts completely banned it.
Mm-hmm.
Rhode Island now completely banned the flavors. At
Mhm.
least they let the weed vape stay. And then New York, their ban got postponed because a judge told them to stop.
Right, because they need to stop. Because also,
Yeah.
let's take earnest of this, and we have taken earnest of this. The vaping crisis.
Oh yes, the crisis.
The vaping crisis. The vaping crisis is in the cannabis world.
Yes, realistically, it is.
It's not these vitamin E accelerants aren't being used in your Joe Schmo vape pen. I apologize.
Or
I don't
Juul,
know.
but
yeah,
they're
or
not being
Juul
used in
or
Juul or any of them, right?
Yeah, they're not being used in. I apologize. Give me a large name brand that we might
Naked brand. of juice.
Naked brand of juice. They're not throwing a vitamin E accelerant in it. They're doing the same thing they've been doing forever. Then you could still buy it over the shelf, and there hasn't been an example
Right.
of an issue with those products because of the harm reduction. We talked to the gentleman last week, and that was the biggest part of it.
Right.
It brings this harm reduction down.
Right.
But they're coming from the bootleg carts.
Right.
That's
They've
what's
even
happening.
named the brands.
They've put the word out, and they have ways of testing it.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you just make sure that it's part of the test?
Right.
And it is for cannabis, and it's the idea so that it looks that's a shady practice that has been banned now, and just make it part of standardized testing.
Yeah. And if you catch these people doing it, I mean, obviously these are people going to be bootlegging stuff. You
Right.
arrest them and you give them a stiff
That's
penalty.
it.
Because now it's more than just counterfeiting products. You're actually hurting people. You're killing them.
Right.
So you're responsible for that if you're putting
That's
out these
right.
products. So maybe they should really start giving them harsher penalties.
Mhm.
Next time you want to make a bootleg cartridge with vitamin E, you think twice about it because the guy down the street who did it got 25 years. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So, that's it. And you're right. This is the cannabis industry's problem. And we did send out a warning long before this
Mhm.
crisis happened. I remember reading and covering this on the air about the bad vape cartridges that were getting people ill in the cannabis industry.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden it hit mainstream and they sucked in the nicotine industry and
Oh,
it didn't
yeah.
belong there.
Nope.
No, it didn't belong there. And so right now the cannabis industry has to, and they've started now, I don't know if you know, but even they were saying, that marijuana now, they're wondering about the safety of vaping marijuana in general
Mm-hmm.
because of this. So now, they're going to try and push it off on, anything they can except the real cause, which is bootleg vitamin E oil being put in cartridges.
Right.
And that's pretty much it.
And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. And that's the only thing. That's why it's an epidemic. You clear that out, and I guarantee this stuff will stop. They'll find something new. But anyway, yeah, so we'll see how that goes because the states are so already diverse on the way they're doing it. Mass is already legal. New York doesn't want home grow rights.
Right.
Jersey doesn't want home grow rights.
Which is
Connecticut.
Yeah, we're in a fight. We have a fight.
They're in the middle somewhere. They don't know
We
which
have a
way to
fight.
go. Yeah. Mass already has grow rights.
Yeah.
And Rhode Island has grow rights for their patients.
Yep.
They're debating on whether to do it for rec or not. So you have in Pennsylvania now
They're
put together a bill that
the
was
golden child of
the
bills.
gold standard of bills. So pretty much so that's one of the states. Now, if we could follow this bill, if Pennsylvania could ever pass this bill, it is like even Shailene Title
Yep.
said this is like one of the the dream bill, the gold standard of bills. So here's what they want to do in Pennsylvania: 10 plants per person. 10 plants, home growers for personal use, give it away, but you can't sell it. $50 a year permit. That's all.
Crazy.
Micro growers. Small businesses would be allowed to grow up to 150 plants to sell to processors and dispensaries.
Amazing.
Microbrewers would not be able to sell directly to consumer, but that's fine. You know what they want for that? $250. I mean, $250 to get a
Amazing.
license to grow 150 plants and be a processor.
Yeah.
Dispensaries, they're going to allow all the current medical dispensaries to start selling rec as long as they keep their supply chain separate.
Hmm.
And they're also going to start giving out new permits, and it's going to be $5,000.
Oh my God.
Right? And then the larger growers, they're going to allow larger growers. They're going to allow no more than 150,000 square feet for outdoor. They're going to allow outdoor, or 60,000 square feet for indoor. And they're going to limit the amount of total larger growers. The application would cost $100,000, but the annual fee would only be $10,000 to renew it. Processing fee $5,000. Oh, processing fee $1,000 to produce pills, vape cartridges, and tinctures. Delivery service right off the bat.
Yep.
Right off the bat, delivery service $50 to get a permit to be a delivery guy, to open a delivery business. And then lounges, dude, $1,000 to get a lounge. 17.75 tax, so 17.5% tax.
Take it.
Capped at that. Won't go any higher. That's lower than Mass. They're going to allow for colleges and universities to research, and they're going to do social justice expungement. All criminal convictions for cannabis-related offenses will be removed from a person's record. Anyone incarcerated currently would receive a commutation. All supervision would cease. Pending criminal charges for cannabis would be dismissed. I mean, you can't get much better than that. You know what I mean? It says the Department of Agriculture is going to be the ones who administer it, and they're going to give $2 million of interest-free loans to low-income and people of color who want to participate in the industry. Now, that's pretty good to me. Sounds like it's got everything anybody could want. And what they're saying now is that the Republicans aren't supporting it at all, but it's got a lot of Democrat support. So, they'll just have to see. But if they can get that through, that would definitely be the gold standard of bills, because it really much puts everything, it encompasses everything, and it keeps the cost of entry at a low level.
Right.
So you don't have to put all those other clauses of like giving these people first, you know what I mean? Because it's so low.
Right.
That anybody could afford
can. It keeps it so open that you're not really worried about that. Well, where is there inequity? It doesn't need to be. It's fair.
It's fair to start. Yeah, right. And they're doing the expungement. Right. So there's the second part of it.
It's fair.
It's fair right to start. If you can't get up $250 to be a micro grower, well then, yeah. Yeah. So, and they're even going to supply $2 million in loans.
Right.
Interest-free loans. So, I mean, I think that's a good bill. And if Connecticut, New York, and Jersey would look at that and see. But I think the home grow thing, at least for Connecticut, is like,
right. It's
just so hard. It's like a deal breaker almost with them. And that's going to be the hardest fight, So we'll see. We got our caller going to be calling in a couple minutes, but I wanted to cover something real quick. Do you know about this Hexo Corporation? Have you heard of them? They're traded publicly.
Not yet. Let's tell us about it, Joe.
Well, Hexo Corporation is a Canadian company.
Okay.
And what they're doing is they're rolling out a line of ultra affordable flour. So basically, they're going to put out a line of flour that costs less than $5 a gram. About $4.50 a gram, $4.50 a gram. It's going to be called Original Stash. The THC levels will end up being 12 to 18%. So basically what they're trying to do is put some mids out there and call them a Original Stash, because they basically are trying to cut out the black market. What they're trying to do up there in Canada. Because what they've found in Canada, I don't know if you saw this latest study, that after a year, remember they've been legal for a year now.
Right.
After a year of legalization, the black market is still
pretty doing well, right?
strong out there, right? And it's because of the pricing. And you're going to find this in any state. This is the problem in Massachusetts. This is why the bootleg cartridges are popular.
Well,
because they're cheaper. And this is why the black market will always be around as long as the legal market is so expensive. You know, is if it's so expensive that people can't really afford it, then they are going to go back to their old dealer and they're going to go back to their black market. And as you can see, the black market is evolving along with the rec industry, because now you're seeing these bootleg branded cartridges that are mimicking recreational products.
Yeah, just literally buying the product right the shelf and just kind of bootlegging it. Think if you're going on the Canal Street in New Haven or something, wherever, New York, go down.
Oh, you can buy the packaging.
Right, go to the pocket and you go into the back and the guy's like, "Oh, look, good, perfect replica."
Yeah.
Well, you had to take me to a back room behind your lot. Like, obviously, this ain't legal, bro.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So,
and that's how they were selling that vitamin E too.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's always going to be. And now you notice you can get edibles on the street.
Yeah.
You weren't able to get that before.
No.
When I was getting weed. If you got edibles, somebody made them in their house.
Right.
And put it packaged, you know what I mean? So now you can get commercially packaged edibles on the bootleg for cheaper than what they sell them in the dispensary. But of course, I'm not saying they're tainted or anything, but they're definitely not tested. Right. And they're definitely, you don't know the dose. You know, some of them, you know, they may say, oh, this is only 25 milligrams. You could pop that in there and it's 100.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you're getting much more higher than you thought you would get. I'm going to send Jeff a text now. Hopefully he's going to call in. But,
what else we have going on there, Joe? What did you do this weekend? Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
Oh, I had a nice
there,
little event. I had a nice event on Thursday night. Down at the Grove. It was a yoga, tea, and CBD event.
Yes, sir.
And that was nice. We had a good turnout. Like 6 or 7 people came down.
Very nice, Joe.
So that was nice. We had that down the Grove. Of course, we had Can of Health on Friday. So I mean, I've just been grinding, working Go-Go Joes on the weekends down there. We're open Fridays and Saturdays now on a regular basis. So I've just been down there selling the coffee. We got records and vinyl and books and all kinds of things for sale down there on Saturdays, so it's kind of cool. It's gotten to be like a little flea market deal.
I love that.
Yeah, we sell. Yeah, so that's fun. And you know, I'm just grinding, bro. You know what I mean?
We totally do, brother. We totally do. You're a man of the plant, totally, and you definitely have put in a lot of work and continue to strive to do everything that we've got to do here.
Right. Oh, especially you telling me you've been waking up.
Oh, man, I apologize. We get up at 4 a.m. and then, start doing everything we got to do, head down to the farm. Spend a lot of time.
What are you at the point now? You're drying the stuff and getting it ready?
We're drying, getting ready to process into oil, and we're doing some biomass, and we're doing some flour for joints, and we're doing a little bit of processing of everything, and we're pretty excited to be one of the processors in the state. We're not completely set up with everything yet because that takes money.
Yeah.
So we're just building towards it. So we have some dry, some drying, some being packed for curing, and so big Tupperware boxes, a lot of those, and just figuring that out right now, and just stopping at Walmart and
buying those big Tupperware
coats, buying them out every time. Hey, awesome! I'm gonna take everything you got.
Yeah,
thanks.
Nice.
And they're like, "Oh, really?" I'm like,
yeah. And then they have to go get more, and you might need more from another Walmart.
And I last week 30-gallon totes were on clearance, so I traveled to 4 Walmarts to try to
get them all up.
Yeah, it was the day that $5 they're a third the price from the wholesaler, and
that's what you got to get.
They were on clearance,
and now you'll have them.
And I was very happy, so I couldn't really go wrong with that.
Yeah, I got to get down to the farm and see you guys down there. But
Joe, you're always welcome, man. We do the Farm Fresh lunch. We really do get to enjoy life there. And this weekend we had beef barley, and there was a gentleman playing some music. And
oh, nice!
Some steamed chicken wings. Not steamed. I apologize. Smoked chicken wings.
Nice.
So very recently, we do a lot of other things than just the hemp, but it's nice to be able to infuse some of it back and forth. just working it out. But the farm stand has farm table style foods, and we work with that farm and local farmers to really be able to create that atmosphere. So a Saturday, you can come down, get a burger, a hot dog,
Oh,
a roast
really?
beef sandwich or something, corn on the cob.
How long does that
And,
go for now with the fall up?
We'll be going for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So right into
Thanksgiving,
right
probably.
into Thanksgiving, and then that'll die down. Because it's a nice autumn scene.
Yeah.
Realistically, if you jump on my Instagram, you'll see a nice picture of my soup this weekend on the background and how beautiful it was.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it really gave me a moment this week, Joe. Realistically, I had him sitting there just watching a little tear fall from my eye, and just be like, "Oh man,
Dreams.
yeah, well, life is good, kind of, And it's just
Yeah.
something sometimes we don't slow down to appreciate a nice piece of. It was live music. The chef just finished making the beef barley. The chicken just got off the grill.
Perfect.
It was just handed to me and thrown on a plate, and I was eating it just literally dirty hands. I was trimming up some buds and things like that. Came out to eat dirty hands and
We got to get you to bring
half
some of
soup
that in now.
kitchen. Yeah.
Maybe next week you bring in a little.
Definitely, bro. I'll bring in something. We got the joint rolling machines coming, and we're starting to really set up all that stuff.
Dude, can we
so
do like a joint rolling right on the
I
on
don't
the
see
show?
why not.
Let's do that.
It's all CBD.
It's all CBD, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
We keep saying that, but we haven't done it yet. So I don't know where Jeff is.
That's okay.
I've
We
been
can talk a little
texting
bit
him. We
about
can-
what's going on. So,
Yeah.
do you happen to have your computer there? Do you have the flyer for this weekend's
Yeah,
event?
I will get it up.
We'll pull
but
that up. So this weekend, right?
Yes.
Is it this weekend?
This weekend, this Sunday.
This Sunday is the Connecticut Hemp Industry Association's first annual Hemp Fest. So kind of our harvest fest. We've all kind of finished hanging and doing everything that we have to do as farmers in the space. And we're looking forward to spending a little time together from 10 to 3. It is a free event from 10 to 3. Come down to Racing Brook Farm in
Hang on, I got it. Racing Brook Farm in Killingworth.
Killingworth.
And I will get you the address.
Yep, but you'll be able to find that on everybody's Facebook pages, and you can just jump on to
Route 80.
Yep, on Route 80. But you can, if you want more information, you can go to the Cannabis Corner Facebook page.
It's
and
listed
it'll be
on one of
there.
our events.
It'll be listed on all the events for Go-Go Joe's. It'll be listed on our Instagram pages, and you can find out where the event is. I believe afterwards, for a small donation, there'll be like an after party with some music and
Right.
and some nice gathering, but that would be more for the evening centric. So past the hat
Right.
stylish and
Well, this is
curls
a
across your
daytime
mouth.
event.
This is the daytime. This is before that,
This
which
says-
is awesome celebration of what we have going on in hemp. You got
10
flyer
to
up?
3. Yep,
All
10 to
right.
3 p.m. at Running Brook Farms.
Running Brook.
And
I
that's
apologize,
at
Becky.
210 Route 80 or 219 Route 80 in
Mhm.
Killingworth. And it's hosted by the Connecticut Hemp Industry Association.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have invited all hemp growers, processors, retailers, manufacturers, extractors, consumers, and hemp supporters. And like you said, it's free. There will be food up there, from what I understand. Some food trucks going on.
Yep.
There will be great coffee up there from Go-Go Joe's.
That's right.
I'll be serving coffee up there. I think they're trying to get Ricky D to bring up some barbecue. We'll see if that happens. But, I mean, I think for Sunday, 10 to 3, you come hang out, you check out all the different farmers. And now a Harvest Fest is basically people bring their harvest, right?
Yep. A
They
harvest
bring
idea.
up
We
the-
bring a little
the-
something.
bring
Something.
a
I'm
little
bringing. I'm gonna bring a couple little things up. We'll see what the wares are, and we'll probably check out other people's hemp and CBD products. There's gonna be a
Right.
couple representatives from some other farms with their own products that they have up,
Yeah.
and I'm really excited for it. And then the owner of the farm there, Becky, is gonna have her farm stand up, and there'll be food, and then
Right.
you'll be able to purchase it. No, it really brings that as an attraction to the local farmer.
Yeah.
So you're able to go celebrate with the local farmer and really learn more about what's going on and support their farm and learn about some other farms that you can find in your local area.
Right, because people, a lot of people, okay, this is Killingworth. Well, what happens? I live in Stamford. You know what I mean? Is there any farm near me? And you can find, is our caller in?
No.
No?
Nope, he was just putting his arm up.
Oh,
So sometimes
I thought he was
you're
waving
like,
to
hey.
us. So, yeah. So it's nice to know what's around you so you can
Mhm.
support those farms. Like you say, now not a lot of people knew the farm you worked at every Saturday does a nice breakfast down there, right?
Yep. Nice lunch.
And they have
and
they have a farm stand. They sell produce, and I believe these people up here does it too.
They do the same thing, and this is how the farms help sustain themselves, other than
just selling
those
out
items,
to stores and stuff, right? Because nowadays there's not a lot of little farm stores that you can sell to.
Right.
You know, it's big supermarkets.
Right.
You know, back in the day, you had little supermarkets you could sell your carrots to. That's who the local farmers sold it to.
And now that doesn't happen as much.
No, Whole Foods claims to do it, but they don't really buy local. You know,
they buy through Baldor, and then Baldor buys from the local. You know, it's a supply chain, which is nice because I now know some of the farmers who are doing that, who do work in that supply chain. So it's pretty cool to see it. Like we do squash, we do winter squashes and things like that. So we just harvested a whole ton of gourds and squashes and things like that, right?
And pumpkins, of course.
Pumpkins. So they're sitting out in the field and in the back. So you'll see those, and then tomatoes, tons of tomatoes. We do tons of tomato products, and then next to that is the hemp. So it's all kind of just staying all happy, willy nilly there.
Now what? You know, just start mixing them all, hemp and pumpkin pie
that's what
with
we'll be
hemp.
able to start doing now. You know, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, throw a little bit of hemp in there, a little extract of this. And, you know, your hands don't hurt as much afterward because you're covered in CBD.
That salsa has nice flavoring.
Oh yeah, it's the best salsa anywhere.
I like that. So yeah, and a lot of people don't know that there are a lot of local farms in the area that do that.
Yeah.
And now a lot of them are growing hemp. And I think that's what's really most important is that these farms that were struggling before had open fields because certain crops weren't selling anymore because big supermarkets had started taking them over and their market share had grown smaller.
Right.
Now they can grow hemp.
They can do something else.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of things is labor too. You know, some of these guys, tomatoes are we're just tilling tomatoes back into the ground because we weren't able to get to them.
Right.
Realistically.
So then they'll just grow again next year.
Yeah, they'll grow. You know, we'll keep doing everything that we normally do. But this year we had to roll in a couple fields and you're like, ugh.
Right.
Well, only if we would have had the labor to pick it. And labor to pick hemp is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, right. People seem to want to do that.
People want to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
So, you know, hopefully it'll all come together. It sounds like it is. But if anybody's looking for a job out there, maybe you want to find somebody like Snoop Dogg.
Hey.
Because, and I knew this before.
This is a topic that a couple people do have, but it came back out.
I knew this before. A friend of mine has worked with Snoop Dogg in the past. And what he does is he has a guy that he hires on salary just to roll blunts for him.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy literally travels around with a big bag. It's all ground up already and a bunch of blunt wraps. And Snoop usually gets his own private room. And he just sits there and rolls blunts for Snoop and lights them and then hands them to Snoop so he can start the rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, apparently when you party with Snoop, everybody gets, if you're in a circle, everybody gets their own blunt.
As they should be.
So you start with, each person starts with a blunt. You light them all, and it just is a continuous pass.
That's it.
It never
As it should be. As it should be.
So if you got 5 people in the circle,
five
blunts.
5 need to be rolled. That's right. Who's sharing? I'm not sharing.
Well, you do, but it's just continuous. It's just continuous.
It's a good thing.
So that's Snoop. So maybe, I mean, I'm sure there's other guys out there.
Yeah. I would hire
Seth
somebody.
Rogen, I bet hires.
I would hire somebody. Joe, if I had that luxury, so I'd pay somebody $60K to just travel with me.
And roll blunts, right?
Yeah, why not?
They would have fun. They would have a great time. They get to come to all the concerts and do whatever else he does.
Why wouldn't I? Or I just make it a 9 to 5 and say, listen, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Yeah,
All
and then you
is
just
roll
better make
blunts.
sure I got a big jar of them at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, there's a quota.
Right.
There's a quota
that you have to have.
For, you know what I mean? It's piecework now.
Right.
You get paid $1 a blunt.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. You're going to roll 600, 700 blunts this week. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go.
You want to make
Let's
money?
go.
Start rolling.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll do some piecework.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, that's always a good job, you know, if you ever find out, see that in the, I don't know if you'll find that on Indeed.com.
I might have to list that on Indeed.com.
But I think more and more celebrities and big stars, as weed gets more and more socially accepted, will be doing that.
I think so.
And that would be a good thing. Let's pay a little bills.
Yep. Let's pay the bills, Joe.
You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent or go to your Facebook page and look us up. So, so back to legalization in Connecticut and this whole regionalization thing. What's your take on it? Do you think we're going to get it done this year?
That's a rough one there, brother. You know, this year's idea on legalization, with them going with the idea of regionalized, they're going to have to push something through. So
I think so.
There's going to have to push either something, some type of openness a little bit more. It really opens up the idea of what could happen. So at least throw it happening in the field, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm going to be there. We're going to all be there. We're going to push it as we go, and we're going to be as optimistic as possible as well, I believe, right?
It sounds to me like Ned Lamont is determined to get it done this year. I don't, and this move to go meet with the other governors is almost like a little slap to the legislator. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you guys aren't going to get it done, then I'm going to get it done with the other big dogs.
Oh,
you know what I
man.
mean? You know, and the same in New York and New Jersey. If you remember, neither one of their legislators could pass
No.
the bills, and
Nope,
the governors were not happy about that at all. So, in other words, you could look at it like, well, these governors are getting together now to, I don't want to say circumvent, but to almost like throw a little warning shot on it, like, guys, you know, we can do this without you, and if it gets to the point, we'll show you the framework that we come up with, and then that's what you have to pass. And I don't know if that's a good thing, you know, when big, powerful people get together and try and put together something, because they usually have other interests in mind.
Right.
At least when you're using the legislator, they have their constituents, or at least they're supposed to
At
have,
least they're supposed to
have their
Right.
constituents, best intentions in mind. But we, you know, to me, I'm very hesitant about this whole approach.
Yeah.
I really think it's.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not really in for this whole regionalized idea as well. You know, we've already said that it doesn't represent us. It doesn't necessarily represent the people. It represents more that capital interest. So
Yeah.
I'm not really.
Yeah.
I don't live in New York anymore.
Right.
Why do I want?
Why
New
do I
York
care what
governing?
goes on in New York?
Yeah,
right?
they can go do their own thing.
It's all about money for them.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, I think New York and New York and Connecticut are seeing, and Rhode Island, dollars flow
Yeah,
into Mass.
that's all they're saying.
They're seeing them just flow into
Mhm.
Mass right now, and they're like, well, why? You know, our legislator could, you know, they couldn't get it done. Well, now we can't. We're losing a whole year
Yeah.
of income that they could be getting.
Mhm.
And but now they're getting at least some vape.
Right.
Vape people are.
But that becomes a big thing because Massachusetts is a ballot initiative state.
Right.
So that's how they were able to get it done.
Right.
So now that all the states around them that are not ballot initiative states, they're flexing.
Right.
That's call a spade, but they're flexing their muscles a little bit.
Right.
You know, oh, we're gonna do this executive order, regional government,
Pretty much. Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah,
Regional
blah,
bill.
blah, blah, blah.
Right.
regional bill.
Yeah.
So if Connecticut vetoes it, we still gotta go for it
Yeah. Or
because it's regional.
New York vetoes it. Right. We got to go for it. And you know, here's what they don't realize now. What I think they're trying to do is get also the pricing on a similar level. But let's look at the tax structures,
Right.
even between New York and Connecticut. Just the difference in sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
Connecticut is what, 6.35? I think New York is up around 9.
Yeah.
It's up around 9. So already they're at a higher tax base. So do you expect Connecticut to jump up and make the tax on weed comparable to the tax on New York? That doesn't make sense because that doesn't fit in line with our
no, it
tax
doesn't.
base.
It doesn't. Cause that's why people moved out of New York and kind of move up here. Yeah, it's not as expensive as New York, but it's a little more expensive than some of the other states.
Right.
And I'm okay with that a little bit. You know, we do have some nice things. There's a lot of money being put
And
into the
Jersey
road and taxes and
It has a low tax rate.
yeah, and
So now they're going to
They'd
expect
have
Jersey
to
jump up to New
or is
York's
Jersey going to
rate?
give us their tax rate? I'll take
Yeah, right.
that. You know
I'll
what I mean?
take
Come on, Jersey.
Well, this 17 now Pennsylvania seems to be the best standard of them all.
Yeah,
17.5. That seems to be reasonable.
Pennsylvania's not that far of a trip either.
No, that's true.
Like-
That's for 4 hours. You got a little 4-hour ride, get right over the border.
My parents live 35 minutes from Pennsylvania,
Right.
from that part of the border. So we're only 3 hours from
Oh, so you
Pennsylvania
got your
on the border.
parents in Pennsylvania. Nice.
My parents live in New York, but you literally take that ride.
Oh, I see where they live, and it's 35 minutes.
So they
that's it.
live, in that part of New York that's right on the border from New Jersey, northern New Jersey, and the last little clip of Pennsylvania down here. So that little sector right there that you just boop.
You can go either stay anyway. Yeah,
It's, and you're
it's like living up in the corner up there with Rhode Island, Mass, and Connecticut.
Yeah, on
together,
that end, on that side. But there's also the New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts border
side,
on
right,
that side.
right.
And then on the other side, it's New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Right.
And those little spots are where everybody goes to, buy fireworks and tobacco and everything.
That's where we used to
all
go.
they're littered. That entire town is on that side of the Pennsylvania border is littered.
Because they can get fireworks legal there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember we used to have to drive to a place called Vista, New York,
Mm-hmm.
to get booze after 8 o'clock
Right.
or on a Sunday.
Right.
And that's the only reason you ever went there. And that's the only reason ever went there,
Right.
because it was right over the border. I don't think there was anything else
Nothing
in that
else.
town but the little markets that sold the beer. And the
And that's
liquor,
what
I
Pennsylvania's
swear.
like over there. And that's
Right.
what's going to happen. They're going to get out there. And right now there's a fireworks place, a liquor place, and then a tobacco spot.
Right.
There's going to be a marijuana spot right next to all of those. And
Right.
that's what's going to happen.
Right.
They're going to take a big influx of people coming right over that border. And they have tolls.
Right.
So
Right.
they're going to get that toll money.
Yeah.
It's all nice.
Yeah,
It's just like, wow.
yeah, so that
And
this is why
they're
the
already
governors
equipped to
want
do it.
yeah.
They're already equipped to do it because as you go in, you go into the tobacco spot and the head shop portion of it is huge.
Right.
So they already have all these humidors and all this other stuff. They will pop in their product.
Especially if at cheap $250 a license.
Every building, every tobacco
Yeah.
shop is going to get their own.
Yeah, they'll have
That's
a
it.
dispensary license. Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. Why
I
not?
would.
I would too. $5,000. It costs $5,000 to get a dispensary.
Let's go.
license. Hey, your parents 35 minutes go. We'll start right there.
Mm-hmm.
No, but so we'll see. I mean, if they could take that, that'd be fine. But I'm very hesitant to accept this whole regional thing. And again, I think it's just a way for them to take the pressure off the legislator and to kind of say, well, this is what New York wanted. Put the blame on somebody else for
Right.
their
And I'm not looking for
mistakes.
that.
No, I'm not looking for that. I want a nice, and then it also takes it so that we don't have as much a say in it as we would have if it was just dealing with our legislature.
Right.
So I think it just brings in too many other components, and I think it's just a lot of smoke and mirrors, and every state's going to do what the heck they want anyway, and the feds, like you say, are going to beat them to the punch.
Right. Which becomes an issue, man. I'm not even looking for that type of headache. You know what I mean?
Let's stick with the hemp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hemp so far, there hasn't been too many problems. I mean, I did notice a few people had hot fields.
Yes.
I did see some people had to do the burns.
Right.
You yourself came out fine,
Yep.
right? Yeah, no problems. But I know there were a few other farms locally that did have to do the burns. And I guess if you're using it for biomass, there is a way to get rid of THC,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that you don't have to burn it.
Right.
Only if you're using it for biomass, though. But if it's going to be extracted or turned into CBD or used for smokable,
Oh, yeah.
it has to be below that 0.3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you as a hemp farmer, Lou, what do you think of the other states that some are doing a 0.9, some have a 0.5? Do you think that's something that needs to be standardized as far as federally what level is acceptable?
Well, if it's hot in your state,
Right.
you can't ship it out no matter what.
Right. Exactly.
So that's where all right, cool. Our crop went to 5% and it's legal.
Let's send it to Florida, right?
Yeah, can't
No,
do it
you
because
can't
it's
do it.
hot.
Right. And then that also precludes the people who are in the hotter states from exporting.
Right.
Because I can't send it if I'm in Florida and they have a 0.9.
Right.
I can't send it up to Connecticut.
Exactly.
I have to keep it down in Florida
Mm-hmm.
where the 0.9 is. Because I mean, it'd be, if everybody grew at 0.3, that'd be great. But in some ways, I think that might be a little low.
Yeah.
I think
It's very low.
You might need to go up a little.
I truly believe we should be up to that 0.7, 0.8.
Well, if other states
We
see
should.
that,
It's a big, because 0.3 is an arbitrary number,
yeah,
and it's rough. That's a low number. You
It is.
can't really take care of the plant very much, and you want to be able to take care of the plant.
you
and-
really don't want to burn it.
right.
You
So
got to
I'd
find another
prefer to
use
have
for
that.
it.
Yeah, the 7 to 9 is where I'm happy. Where I'd like to push the argument. you
Right.
know.
So that
So-
could be something to look forward to for
Oh
next
yeah,
session
it's
to
part
try
of,
and
it's
get
definitely part of what we're looking to do.
to get that up a little bit. And people got to remember this year was a pilot program.
right.
So they're going to take all the data that you guys submit at the end of the season. You're probably all gathering it now.
Correct.
And look at it and say, okay, how many fields did we have to destroy because they're over 0.5? Now, is that too many? Should we up the rates? They're going to see how much crops were lost to
Right.
like deer,
Right.
stealing,
Right.
That's all going to be in there. How did the crop grow? How many people lost a certain amount?
Right.
Because, I mean, I guess they need to know how well does hemp grow in Connecticut? Is this a sustainable crop for Connecticut? Now, I'm assuming it is because it's just like any other crop. And we, although we only get one growing season here,
Right.
it's a pretty decent growing season.
Yeah, we do. We have a nice grow. It's nothing that's horrible. Or we have a great grow season in New England. And as long as you do it right and you can grow the right plants and get out early and not wait. My advice to anybody that's growing hemp cannabis in the Northeast, get out before October 1st.
Get your stuff out.
Yeah.
First weekend of October is it, huh?
Yeah.
Once you let it go a little longer than that,
You're looking to deal with the damp, wet
The weather,
season,
yeah.
drying issues, bugs. You're inviting issues.
Yeah, a
You know,
lot
just
of
get out while it's still warm, and your drying area will still be warm.
right.
You're not sacrificing too much. You've had a nice program all winter. I mean, all spring into the summer.
Right.
Don't jeopardize it for an extra 2
for an
weeks.
extra for what? You're talking
For what?
CBD here.
Yeah.
Hemp.
Yeah, let's do it right.
You could go hot.
Yeah.
That's one thing. You're risking going
Yeah.
hot if you let it go a little
Exactly.
longer. And then get it in early.
Exactly.
Get it in early. Now, do you think it's possible to get 2 growing cycles in the Northeast?
If you're using autoflower, yeah.
Yeah, autoflower, and you're mostly biomass.
Right.
Right, so you could churn it out. So there could be a possibility for 2 growing seasons here in Connecticut. Because I guess Florida or something, you could get up to 5, right? If you really wanted to.
If you're, it's not necessarily, but cycles.
3.
So if a
yeah.
couple plants are behind each other and things like that, that's kind of what you'd be doing there. So I guess that's what we're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're getting close to the time, Lou. I just wanted to
Oh
remind
man, that kind of we
I
talked
know,
right through
we
that.
didn't,
there.
yeah.
You pay the bills real quick. Sorry.
You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We're streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent or go to your Facebook page and look us up. So, we already talked about the Hemp Harvest Festival going on this weekend, this Sunday up in Killingworth. This tomorrow night is the Connecticut Normal Meeting, off from our usual Wednesday night, down at the Cellar. So, if anybody wants to come down.
We love going down there. Just big shout out to great food, man.
Great
really
food
great
at the
food.
Cellar. Great food at the Cellar, even for a vegan.
I think that the Cellar has definitely become one of the local dives that you need to make sure that it's becoming a local staple. You got to kind of
And they have good music.
yeah, great music, and for a new spot, definitely call it. I'm very happy to call it dive worthy, like neighborhood chilling spot. Like
Right.
this should be your hometown pub.
Cheers.
Yeah. Yeah, realistically,
No,
that's
yeah.
kind of our cheers at this point. That's why our meetings are down there. That's
Cannabis
why-
friendly.
Well,
Very cannabis friendly.
Not
Right. But you know what I'm saying.
you know.
He's serving CBD coffee. Let's
There
put
you
it that
go.
way.
Yeah,
So he
serving
supports
CBD
the committee.
Corey. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so he's serving CBD and selling it down there. So if you want to try the Go-Go Joe's coffee, you can go grab a cup down at the Cellar, and hopefully we'll have some more places serving it soon. And let's see, Canna Health will be open this Friday from 1 to 5 in Milford. That's down at the Grove. And I believe it's open Saturday in New Haven, which is on Temple Street.
Right.
So, and the new offices of Canna Health have opened in Danbury, and Middletown. So there are now 6 offices with 5 offices with a new one opening in Stamford soon. So Canna Health is growing. Shout outs to Kibra.
Yeah, we love her.
We haven't seen her in a while.
Well, we text,
We talk
back
all
and
the
forth.
time.
She's doing awesome. We want to keep supporting her, and she's a big part of our life in the Connecticut cannabis community.
Absolutely.
So we're excited.
We love the work that Kibra does.
Yeah,
and
we're all doing a little something, so it's beautiful. Joe's got
all kinds of stuff going on. Uncle Lou's got the
nobody,
Vega Farm,
Joe, nothing.
so please. And then anything going on with you, Lou? Any events that you know of that you want to promote? The things.
I am going.
Isn't it Ghouls and Goblins coming
Ghouls
up
and
somewhere?
Goblins. So one of the Ghouls and Goblins is coming up. We have a Croptober just passed as well. Community bonfire was this weekend as well. So a lot of great community events that we'd like to keep you updated about. So you can always follow my Instagram page, and you can learn about those events that are going on in local states. Wednesday, I'm flying out to Idaho, for the Hemp Builder Summit. So I'm gonna come back with all that hemp builder information.
Bring some hempcrete back. We'll show it on the air.
That's what we're looking for to really get into. So I'd love to push that forward a little bit. And then from there, we come back Saturday, and then Sunday we're doing the Hemp Harvest Fest, and going into the week, just waiting for equipment to come, and really just
keep it moving.
Keeping it moving. I got my hat. My hat's covered in flowers.
I see. It smells like weed.
Yeah, but it's hemp. It's hemp. But thank you, Joe. I appreciate you and your time.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you all next week. I believe we have the owner of Willowbrook, another new dispensary.
Gary. Next week we have Gary. He is part of Willowbrook Wellness out of Meriden. He is the marketing guy. He's so he's that guy who talks about the dispensary. We've had Gary, who was the who was the gentleman from
Benjamin.
We had Benjamin.
We've had Brian.
We've had Brian, and so we're now really trying to branch out and make sure that the dispensaries can get a little word out there, because they are limited in what they have to do. And Willowbrook is actually my dispensary.
Very cool.
So I saw him there. He was talking, and he said, "Why not?" So come on out and talk about what you do. And I actually do enjoy my experience going there. So
all right, so we'll have him on next week.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll see you all at the Hemp Harvest Festival this weekend, and have a great rest of the week.
That's right. Stay happy, healthy, and high, guys.
All right, always. Thank you, Harry.
I'm chasing turkey bag. I'm chasing gold, y'all. Tell her down, we won't go far. Blue sherbet stuff the whole jar. 100 P's on the Bay Bridge, stuck in traffic. If I ever run into Riri, let's make magic. Die doing something you love, it ain't tragic. Heard what I said, it ain't tragic. From the home of lay down, smoking ratchets. Never win when you spell it backwards. I got green in the bay, my whole team Packers. Told the plug I need 100 P's, now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's, now my shoebox got 100 G. Told the plug I need 100 P's, now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's, now my shoebox got 100 G. Gucci slides with the G's while I'm selling P's. Walking proof, money growing trees. Hit the plug, he gon' fly the geese. 100 P's, we supply the streets. Gelato cookies and that blue cheese. Yeah, bitch, woman, she got blue knees. Call her Arizona, she got a few C's. When I'm in California, plug like what you need. Pounds, pounds, pound, pound, pound. Put the work on the table, my niggas break it down. Moving that work since Hazel's round. Ask anybody, my niggas run the town. Told the plug I need 100 P's, now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's, now my shoebox got 100 G. Told the plug I need 100 P's, now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's, now my shoebox got 100 G.